Yo quiero ser mujer sin modelos que imitar. En aymara, inglés o castellano, mujer quiere decir dignidad.
Libertad.
Un pene, cualquier pene, es siempre una miniatura y no hay nada más que decir. For you. I want to begin saying that I don't like to speak in English. I will do it only because of practical reasons, but not because of innate obedience with this Anglo-cultural hegemony, which is an imperialistic one. Anyway, in the effort to talk to you, I will have to cut the needed poetry of my speech. I'm a long-winded feminist. I belong not to a group of activists, not to a women group, not to a group of artists, but to a social movement, which means something very different. It means the force and the capacity to build a very deep relationship between movement and society. We move our society, and our society moves us at the same time. We are very conscious that the relationship between art and politics is a labyrinth one. It's a complex one. We have our standpoint. We are not making arts. We are making politics. We are not making political art either. We are making politics, just politics. We reject this artificial box which art institution means. We choose the daily life of people to meet people. Our work means risk. We are not making a piece of art. We are opening a mirror of dignity for daily life women in our society. We are not making a piece of art. We are building a freedom, a language of freedom. We are opening a sky of hope for our people. Our languages, we are not bringing either the languages of art into politics to bring some oxygen to politics. Our languages, born in our silence, born in our fragility, born in what we are, and also in the disobedience not to be what we are commanded to be. You have listened to many, many positive concepts to art these days. We have a very critical idea. We reject the very frequent utilitarian relationship between artist and movement. We know no artist is a political entity. We reject the continuous statization of social struggle. We take distance from the sort of tourism which make many artists run from one political cause to the next political cause without getting in deep contact to any. We are working since 20 years. We are building a political subject, a political entity. And our start point is the confusion. Because you cannot speak anywhere in the world, no matter the United States or Afghanistan. You cannot speak anywhere in the world about women without knowing that there is a deliberate, big confusion of what does it mean. So we take time to clarify of whom are we speaking about. When we say women, we are not talking about Hillary Clinton. When we say women, we are not talking about Angela Merkel, Christine Lagarde, Christina Kirchner, Michelle Bachelet. When we say women, we are talking about crazy, unemployed, abortionists, lesbian, migrant, Indian, bastards. We have the force to affirm that there is a big contradiction, a radical contradiction between women who are up and women who are down. We reject the idea of the biology to make a political identity. We choose again and again and again women who are down. We are building a sisterhood. But it is not a normal sisterhood. It is a sisterhood which is forbidden, which is not easy to solve, which is not easy to build, which is not easy to understand. Because we don't care to be understood. We care not to be simple, not to be a part of the structures of power. We don't either want to gain rights for women. We are fighting to change society, which is something different. We don't move in the little space of women's struggle, traditional women's struggle. We don't move in the little space of traditional feminist agenda, which is not ours. We are ready to feel, to understand, and to act on the everything. We want to speak about water. We want to speak about earth. We want to speak and to act the everything. We don't give up. We are ready not to give up. Talking about collective knowledge. It is very important, and it is not easy to understand that oppression is an interconnected plot. We need to understand that. And we can reach this understanding only if we go beyond victimism and testimony. Only if we go beyond our identity ghetto. Or only if we go beyond the place the system puts us, by the age, by the color skin, by the sex, or whatever. We have to be beyond, we have to go beyond these frontiers. Creative work, manual work, and intellectual work are three parts of the same process. We have to understand it. We have to go beyond rationalism. We have to unite handwork, creative work, and intellectual work, and put them in the same level of value, in the same horizontal level of value, to go beyond this rationalism. There is no neutral knowledge. There is no neutral knowledge. You, me, we cannot build an anti-institutional knowledge inside the institution. You cannot build anti-institutional knowledge inside the university. You cannot build anti-institutional thought inside academy. There is a radical outside to join, to recognize, to work. We have heard too many times that there is no outside, that everything is inside. That's not true. There is a radical outside where social struggle takes place. Collective knowledge is understandable for everybody. Collective knowledge is plebeian. Collective knowledge is a call to action and to change things. I have a final present for you. Here, the world, take it. Oh, gracias, gracias.
Quieren que vayamos allá.
Vamos allá, bueno.
That's perfect. So, María.
Compañero.
¿Qué tal? You know, I also think there is an outside, of course, and I also think that the social struggles that are already taking place have a lot to do with that outside and with creating that outside. But you know, every outside has to be done with the materials, with the experiences, with the ideas, with the institutions that already exist. Because, you know, if not, it would be like always doing politics from scratch and doing everything from scratch. So how, in the way you approach this thing, how do you deal with this, you know, relationship, complex relationship between what's outside and what's necessarily inside, because we are actually made of it and made out of it?
Well, I think your question is a sort of trap, but not a trap from you against me. It is the trap we find ourselves the whole time. And I think there is very important to be aware of this radical outside. I am really very tired to hear again and again and again that you have to get into the state to change things. That you have to go into the university to change things, into, and then reinforced the institution. We don't want to be customers of the institution, cheap customers of the institution. We want to change things. And I think, really, and our action of more than 20 years is a sort of little, very, very little example. To remain outside is the most important. Of course, your family, your education, your nationality, your whatever, is a sort of press to belong to be like to. But therefore, we are a movement of rebellion. Rebellion means to go outside all you are commanded to be. Maybe because you are a man, you cannot understand that. But because being woman, we really need to begin from the beginning.
Thank you.
Thank you.